Hey everybody, have you always wanted to add lithium to your camper for boondocking, but A, didn't want to modify your camper, and B, didn't want to spend a whole bunch of money? I think I've come up with the perfect solution for this. So I have physically done this to my camper, and I wanted to share it with you because I spent a lot of time mentally munching on the different options and trying to figure out how I can do it as cheaply as possible. And I think I've come up with a pretty good solution. So I started drawing some stuff out on the whiteboard. Follow along on the whiteboard, and then I will show you exactly how I physically set it up on my camper. So I have a travel trailer. It had the cord that like comes out the back of it that like you pull out through a hole, which was really annoying. And then it plugs into shore power. This is a pedestal or somebody's house or whatever it may be. So with the lithium battery pack, I wanted to be able to do three things. I want to be able to camp the traditional way, plugged into shore power. I want to be able to run off just the battery. And then I also want a way to do hybrid. So the battery pack that I ended up getting has like kind of a pass-through mode, and it can do up to 1800 watts in pass-through mode. So as long as you don't go over 1800 watts, it will just like charge itself and pass through power, and everybody goes on their merry way. So what did I do? I did not buy lithium batteries. Well, I didn't buy traditional lithium batteries and inverter and shunts and wiring and fuses and distribution blocks. What I did buy is I bought an F3000 LFP. It's put a picture of it right here. I'll put links down below, but it is the cheapest for the 3,000 plus watt hours that it has unit that I could possibly find. And that's where I'm coming up with this 1800 watt pass through. So it's a like 3049 watt hour lithium battery with an inverter and all of the plugs. It has a TT30 plug right on it, so you can plug right into it instead of shore power if you wanted to. The thing is, 3,000 watt hours is enough to run. If the air conditioner was going flat out, I have a 15,000 BTU Coleman unit. If you're running the air conditioner flat out, it takes like 1,300 watts, and you can use the battery for maybe like an hour and a half if it's running flat out. My caveat there is that like we also travel with a small 1,800 watt generator, and so like if it's 100 degrees outside, I'm either going to run off shore power or I'm going to run off the generator, right? I'm not going to try to kill off the battery pack that quickly. But for everything else, for running like a box fan overnight or the air conditioning intermittently, I think it should work out just fine. And then in the future, if we do decide we want more battery power, you can just buy the add-on battery pack that basically doubles the size of the Pecron. So let's talk about how I wanted to achieve these three objectives. So traditional, that's already taken care of. Boondocking, that's already taken care of. You could put, the battery and plug into it, right? The problem is you probably want that inside the camper, right? Not outside the camper. So you want it in your storage bay. So how do you solve for that? Well, in my case, the port for where the plug came out of the back of the camper was too small to fit the plug through. So I bought another, I'll put a picture of it right here, and me doing it, I removed the round porthole, whatever you call it, and put in a larger square one that has a cutout so you can run a wire through it. Standard camper stuff, I'll put a link down below. So now, not only does my pigtail go out, but my pigtail can come in. So now I can do one of these and plug straight into the battery pack, which is really cool. Except, how do you charge the battery pack in a hybrid situation? So like, all right, we're flat out boondocking and running off only the battery. That's great. But now it's like 95 degrees in the afternoon and you need to run the generator. Let's pretend this is a generator. you know, with your little pull start. How do you plug into your generator? Because the charging cord that comes with the Pecron is only like 3 feet long, which is cool if you're in a house and you're plugging it into the wall, but it's not so cool if you're out and about. So the Pecron charging cord needs to be able to plug in somewhere. Maybe I'll make that a different color. So this needs to plug in somewhere. Well, I don't want to carry another extension cord that's like, you know, 110 volt normal socket, right? So this is the part that I figured out that makes this truly a hybrid thing. I bought this, what looks like a surge protector. I'll put a picture of it right here. It's basically a power strip that has a TT30 port on it along with normal sockets. So what am I doing with that? I already carried around a TT30 extension cord. I bought this camper used. It came with the camper. I carry it with me all the time because the pigtail out of the camper was like 20, 25 feet, and sometimes it's not quite enough to reach the box, right? So I already had that cord with me, and it's a heavy duty 8 gauge, well, maybe 10 gauge TT30 extension cord. So what I'm doing is I have the TT30 cord that's basically an extension cord going and plugging into the power strip, so I can charge the Pecron, and then when I want to go hybrid, I do this setup where I am charging the Pecron and the Pecron's powering the trailer. Or, since I have this box, I can unplug the camper from the Pecron and plug the camper into the box instead and run traditional and charge the Pecron, not using the sketchy RV power system. So it's not running through the fuse box or anything. It's running basically straight off of this extension cord, which is protected by a 30 amp fuse or your generator. And hopefully there's, you know, your generator has a breaker or whatever. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to turn the camera around and show you like how I set this up in the real life. But basically it's a glorified extension cord with a power distribution block that has a TT30 port in it that I didn't even know they existed before I was researching this project. So I can run off of shore/generator only. I can run off battery only, or with 30 seconds of unplugging from the Pecron all within the storage bay, unplugging the Pecron and plugging into the power distribution block, I can now have essentially a manual transfer switch to charge the Pecron while running off of shore power or running off of the Pecron itself. So then if you're running off of the Pecron, you never even have to switch it. You just keep the camper plugged into the Pecron. You charge the Pecron from generator or shore power. And when you unplug to go to your next destination, you don't even have to do anything. You just unplug your extension cord and carry on your way. So hopefully that makes sense. Let's look at how it was installed in real life. All right, I had to go mobile on my other camera. So here is my camper. Here's my large rear storage bay. I'm gonna go through the cords so it all makes sense in real life. So Pecron's in the storage bay. Currently, this is my TT30 extension cord that I mentioned. All it is a TT30 plug on either end that's plugged into the wall. This is the new box, what I'm calling the power distribution box. It has a TT30 plug here and then 4 normal outlets. this is the charging cord that came with the Pecron. So if I plug this in, the Pecron will be charging and the trailer will just be running in normal traditional mode. Next up, if I want to boondock, I simply take this one guy out. This is the travel trailer pigtail that's just looped in back here. And I plug it in there. That's it. It is now ready to boondock. So you turn this on and you turn the camper on and it's ready to go. And that's it. That's boondocking. So if I wanted to do the hybrid approach, I keep the travel trailer plugged into the Pecron, and then I plug the Pecron into my power distribution box using the TT30 cord that I already had, and I plug this in here and it will charge and it will put out to the trailer. So when you're ready to go to the next campsite, you just unplug this cord and you're good to go. You can just leave this just the way it is. The one thing I am thinking about doing, so this is all a new setup to me, the one thing I am thinking about doing is I might take this apart and put a longer cord on it. I'm gonna shut that off so it's not really loud. But other than maybe putting like a 6-foot cord on this so it reaches out the hole, I think this is it. So this is near zero modifications to the trailer. Provides both traditional boondocking and like a hybrid setup for all your different kinds of camping. Can be removed in like 5 minutes. I can take the Pecron out and I can throw it in my truck. Let's say I'm tent camping for Boy Scouts or whatever, I can throw it in my truck. I can throw the coffee maker in my truck, and then I can have delicious coffee while I'm tent camping. And here's a quick look at the door. It's like your normal standard RV wire door, but it's big enough that the cord heads, those really big TT30 plugs, fit through there. So that's it. It's like it doesn't seem like it because it's relatively simple, but there was a lot of thought put in behind how can I do this as efficiently as possible and as cheaply as possible without permanently modifying the trailer, or getting to like, oh, I just put $2,000 worth of lithium in my trailer, but I'm not taking my RV out this weekend, I'm taking my truck out. Well, now it's not portable, or the power went out in my house and my RV's in storage and I can't plug my house in now. Like I didn't want to be limited. I think part of my design purpose here was to have options. I wanted to be able to take the box into the house and plug stuff into it in a power outage. I wanted to be able to take it with me when I go on other camping trips, or when I'm like on my way to go do something and I need a circular saw and I don't have a battery powered circular saw. All you do is throw the Pecron in the truck, plug the saw in, and go saw stuff. Like it makes everything a lot simpler. So anyways, I hope that was educational. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it helps you. You don't have to spend, $4,000 on solar and do all this stuff. If you watch your energy usage and maybe you need the expansion pack, maybe you go with like 6,000 watt hours, you put the expansion battery on it and it gets you 2 days of boondocking. Fabulous. You're gonna have to find out what works for you, but in this case it's modular. If you end up not liking this battery pack, buy a different one, buy a bigger one, buy a smaller one. In this case you can do whatever you want to do, and it doesn't require custom setups and heavy gauge wiring and fuses and all of this stuff. So hope this helps. Go out there and work on your stuff and let me know how it goes. I'd love to discuss this stuff. So have a good one.